Tinubu may not be able to achieve the kind of promise on electricity as a promise in 4 years.
Nigeria is not going to have constant power supply in 2 years' time. Let's be practical. We are not. You know
So
why? We've already just had that conversation.
It's going to be a failed promise.
It's going to be a failed promise.
It's not realistic.
Nigeria, first of all, I don't know if you want to answer the question or you want me to answer.
No, I'm asking. It's still a question.
Nigeria is not. I'm just going to be clear.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be clear to you. Nigeria is not going to have uninterrupted power supply by 2027. One, and the reason is simple. The process of getting the players, first of all, you have to get out of the way as a government, and then you have to hope that the space is interesting enough, is exciting enough for private players to play. Those private players have to then go and raise the money and all of that. You have to build and all of that. So just it's like saying, look, God, please, somebody that has not had sex wants to have a child. No matter how much you pray, you have to wait for 9 months. You have to have that sex that day, hope that there's a conception. You have to wait for 9 months. So in the sense of just how things work, number one, Nigeria will not have constant power supply by 2027. Number two, it is not uncommon that somebody that is campaigning to the president, to be president, manages to fail at some things. In fact, there is not a single president in the history of presidents and democracies that has been able to fulfill everything they said, not one. So it is not a new thing that, and the reason, one of the reasons is because, first of all, you're a human being, you are limited. Second of all, your resources and your problems are never going to match anyway. Third of all, you're not going to govern alone. There's a National Assembly, there's judiciary. You don't have the kind of control you think you have whilst running for office. It's not the reality that you meet when you get into the office. So let's be clear, sir. Whether it's, and from where I sit, I know it's going to happen. It will just be one of those things that was not achieved. Now, those that don't want him to come back are going to hold him by what he failed on. Those that are rational are going to look at the entire picture of the promises and what was delivered. Understand?
It won't be an albatross.
Do you know why it's easy for them to understand? And that's why I said those are rational. Who is the richest person in Nigeria?
Well, by records, Aliko Dangote.
Does Aliko have everything he wants?
But why did he promise that he was going to do it?
Because it's in human nature, in government, in social systems, you do not get 100% efficiency.
Let me ask you.
100% efficiency
you heard about the coalition, and there are those who say that is a storm. I mean, you heard what Nasir El-Rufai said, that they are going to send Tinubu packing and retire him in Lagos. You think that is not looming?
It is the nature of sports for the contender to say as many things as possible. In fact, if you're not saying, you're already failing. So it is just natural. This guy just got knocked out in the 5th round, Dubois, by Usyk, right? And Dubois really said a lot of things, right? But like Mike Tyson said, everybody has a plan until they get in the ring. So it's talking is part of the nature of politicians have to talk. But they have to talk. They have to ginger their audience. They have to make themselves feel good.
This is a question.
Yeah.
If the coalition fields a Peter Obi as his consensus presidential candidate in the 2027 election, do you genuinely believe President Tinubu can still defeat him in a free, fair election?
First of all, just like I said about power, Peter Obi is not going to be in a position by 2027 where he's popular all around the country. Again, back to that pregnancy analogy, some things just take time. No matter how rich you are, no matter how beautiful your wife is, no matter how productive your sperm is, no matter how fresh our egg is, if you want a child today, the shortest possible time is a little more than 9 months. The time it takes to have the popularity required to have enough votes to get at least 25% in 2/3 of Nigerian states is too short for Peter Obi to muster.
Let me wrap up.
It's
quickly.
too short for Peter Obi to muster.
Let me wrap up now. Nuhu Ribadu, and I know that you're a fan of Nuhu Ribadu.
I mean, Nuhu Ribadu is easy to be a supporter of Ribadu. It's too easy.
Why so?
First of all, let's talk about his personal story. He's the only Nigerian that won the Global Anti-Corruption Award. If this guy was a Yoruba person, we know how to use the media and branding and packaging. That's why Buhari came to us in 2015. It would be better perceived.
So you're saying Yoruba made Buhari?
I was waiting for you to say that.
No, Mama just asking. You just said
I didn't say it.
You just
I said we packaged him. I didn't say we made him.
So Yorubas didn't make Buhari?
Nobody can. Back to Peter Obi. When it comes to becoming president,
you left that question. You said
I'm answering the question. You don't seem to understand the direction.
Okay.
To become president, many things need to come together. Mm-hmm. So part of what came together for Buhari was the packaging. It doesn't mean that you did everything for him.
Buhari was well packaged.
Anybody that has ever become president in any country was packaged. Anybody that has ever become president in any country.
Peter Obi packaged Tinubu too.
Yes, now everybody gets packaged. If you don't get packaged, then you're shit and nobody votes for you. You've got to be. When you go to the market, when you go to the supermarket to buy something, whether you know it or not, the packaging is the first factor in your decision making.
So Nuhu Ribadu is not packaged. That's why you've not seen
Nuhu Ribadu comes as he is natural. Nuhu Ribadu, for instance, Nigerians don't realize that Nuhu Ribadu had a massive impact in designing the anti-corruption infrastructure in the Middle East. He had such a huge impact in design anti-corruption infrastructure in parts of North Africa, which was what resulted in the award. A lot of people that come at him, part of why they don't like him in the political class, part of why they don't like him is that even if you took them to Vodi's office, Vodi is the big tailor, right? And you made a big agbada and you put moral fabric, they still wouldn't be able to match his moral fabric because he's just different from them. They talk and want to be perceived as a certain way of righteousness. He is that person and he's got competence. He will not come on your show or on all these shows where people make themselves look bigger and try to make himself look big. But he will give you natural. He will tell you exactly how he feels. He's competent. Look at his way of handling national security. Now, just like a plane that doesn't land well, everybody gets to talk about it. When it has not landed well, nobody talks about the planes. There are about 45,000 flights in the USA every day, right? The only time we have conversations about flights is when a particular engine is burning on its way to Los Angeles or something. So, but in his style is such that he combines everything. He combines personality, he combines strategy, he combines military, he brings everything on the table. And just like Ubasani in Kaduna, there's a natural trust in that this person wants the best for all involved, and it helps to result in a certain level of trust that brings about peace. A lot of people that, some of them even sponsored, they were in the same party with him and they were sponsoring another party's candidate against him because there is something he stands for that no matter how much they try, they can never match. And I'm happy, for instance, that President Tinubu, despite all the things that some people told him before he made that appointment, made him his national security advisor. I don't think there's anybody more natural for such a position.